Alright, hey, good evening everybody. It's Roden, and we're here to do EP Station Trading episode 48. I think it's going to be a quieter episode, to be honest. Not a whole lot happened from last week. Yeah, it was just mostly focused on actual fleet stuff. So even Olive probably was like, oh, nope, no contracts for Row this week. Nope, not this week. That is what it is. So we'll go and get started with our usual stuff. We'll go over our calls from last week. All right, our first one we call a buy on warp disrupt probes. Still a buy. Wow. Okay. Steadily going down. Volume isn't changing. I wish there was a way to see how much actually is going into the market and left untraded. Not sure if there's a tool to actually capture that, but this may not be that much demand for it. May just be a general lack of demand based on previous actions. So okay, well, it's still a buy. I can't see it. Well, can it go lower? Probably at this point. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I just be wary about it. Let's see if it's tradable at least. Even though something is trending downwards, it actually can still be tradable. You just have to be really careful and don't go all in too hard at a particular price point, unless you know for a fact, or at least you know even from a technical perspective, that it's a good place to start buying, because it'll probably reverse from there. With these types of products that actually have long trends, it's really difficult to identify that based just on its history. Because this thing is basically historically getting lower price and lower price and lower price, because people probably just start stocking these up. Let's see if this is flippable. Maybe. It's a really aggressive call with that 71K buy. That's really aggressive. That's still actually 8%. That's actually not bad. Considering that it is a consumable, and once it leaves it's not like it can be reused, is what I mean. You know, it's not like a module where, oh, I used it for several ops and now I'm going to resell it. Like, no, it's not like that. So, okay. That's actually pretty promising, even though it's sliding downwards in price. That's not bad. And if you're actually there to use it, it's good for you. If anything else is good for you, it's cheaper. Alright, next one is, we call it an observe for nanite repair paste. Observe buy, man. It's still a buy. It definitely kept going on the buy end. Everything's looking like dang Straunt, man. Tell you what. Everything looks like Straunt. Jesus. Alright, so let's break this down. Continuing to trend downwards. Even the 20-day moving average is actually... It looks like it's about to actually start going down. It wouldn't be a... It would be... I don't think it'd be outside the realm of possibility to, at least within the next 3 weeks, this thing could get probably really close to 25,000 ISK per unit. Cass says I'm retooling to make it right now. I get a feeling. Yeah, why not, man? Because you know what? If this is a correction response due to where it was previously, this is like incredibly manic. That's nuts, man. So if this is just a correction, that's a really good opportunity to actually get this on the cheap and resell. or use for your own use. You know, for just, hey, I just want tons of nano repair paste because I need it for ops, or I need it as a part of the fits of all these doctrine fittings, or whatever the case may be, right? For actual use. Yeah, I just don't. Something tells me it's maybe it'll not exact. Maybe it won't go to 25,000 ISK per unit, but I think it'll go pretty close to it. Pretty close to it. Let's see if it's actually tradable. Let's see if this is another example of something that stays tradable even though the price is trending downwards. That's actually quite common, from my experience at least. 26K to 28K. Let's do that. 7%? That's not bad. That's not bad. Mind you, this is before taxes, so. Cap says, I already got loads just trying to find an ancillary repair, BPO or BPC. Okay. Okay. Some of the smalls, right? Be a good pairing. I think that was a pretty reasonable call for an observed buy. They'll probably still go back. Can this continue to go downwards? I think it will continue to go downwards. I don't think this is going to even out yet. Based on the mean price being lower than the 5-day moving average, being lower than the 20-day moving average, and the 20-day moving average itself looking like it's trending downwards. So I think this is about to actually go free fall for a little bit. May free fall all the way get down to 25K. Who knows? Totally possible. Totally possible. Guys, yeah, with Tech 1 Frigs open up low and no stack ratting. Yeah, why not? Alright, next one is called MPTCs. It's just a 90-day, from a 90-day view, it was a good place to buy. You never cracked it. Wow, okay. Alright, let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It started going, it's an actual sideways movement. It might actually get lower. Like when we called it, from as far as daily ranges, it was possible to capture it at a 90-day low. Didn't quite get as low from the days after that. I think that's a good buy, to be honest. I think that's a good buy. Still at a buy zone basically. Let's see if it's flippable at all. It's definitely this thing is usually not flippable. Usually not. 1.2 to 1.3. It's hardly anything there, man. Maybe 9%, maybe if you actually babysit these orders, I guess. But for a capital investment of over 1 billion per item, I don't know. I wouldn't have the patience. I wouldn't have the patience. All right, next, last item we called for buys, the Red Gorilla's Invuln. Still a buy. It's hovering in there. It's hovering in there. Oh my god. Can it go lower? It looks like it's positioning itself to actually get lower. But with the volume actually not changing. So what's the story there? More people are dumping it into buy orders. This must be really flippable then. 220 to 244. Let's see. 10% totally flippable. These have been really great examples of things that actually don't flip, but remain flippable. That's actually really interesting. That's a really good case study. Cap says someone changed adoption rate maybe. Not based on volume, Cap. I don't think so. I mean, DGs are they've always been one of the cheaper stuff to actually use, considering how much stats you can squeeze out of them. They're a value buy. They're honestly a value buy. I mean, at least in like we don't. I don't know. Maybe, but at least the Jita picture doesn't scream doctrine change because the volume hasn't changed. So it's just PVE, continuing to be a PVE item. Like when I was wormholing, like a DG tank is probably one of the better value tanks you can actually put in a Tech 3 cruiser, to be honest. It's simple, man. It's not that expensive. You get a lot of stats out of it. It's not bad. It's not bad. Alright, and that's all for our buys. Now we'll go over our sells. We call the sell on the IFFA damage control. I'm kind of surprised how expensive it got, man. So we call this as a sell. It corrected, actually, but then it shot right back up, like today. That's interesting. On volume, too. Wow. On volume. So let's go back 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was a sell just because it's on this high plateau, but then it corrected itself. Then it's shooting. It corrected itself quite rapidly. And then the correction to the correction was actually a lot more drastic. That's interesting. That's super interesting. Chaos have to check out Suetonia's latest ship fit tubes then. They're frigates, man. There's only so many ways you can fit them. There's only so many ways. Honestly, only so many ways you can fit them. But that's very telling, though, right? When a big name demonstrates certain things, people catch on. But obviously they don't have the same results as Suetonia does, because that's Suetonia. He's a one-man marketing machine, potentially. There might be something there. Let's see where this is at. If this is actually above 2.5, then this is a really good call. Nah, I dropped 1.6, 1.7. At least for today, we might have just caught it as it's settling down. But based on the numbers, it looked like it got up there. Like it was very, very wild, very, very wild. Cal says he sneezes out half a point. He sneezes for half a point. E-Pat just flew for a single DPS point or EHP. Yeah, he's a good guy, man. I've seen the streams, right? He's really cool to watch, to be honest. All right, if you were, you probably would have been more successful if you actually set a forecasted price for this, and then just left it alone. For high volume modules, that's usually what I end up doing as far as a selling strategy, because otherwise I'm literally just going to be chasing prices all day, especially on very, very popular modules. Alright, next one's large remote armor rep 2. I think this was more purely out of the cost of the input materials, to be honest. Still sell. That's funny. It corrected it. Actually, we caught it at its crest. It corrected when it's shooting back up. but with lower volume though. So this is all sell side, or predominantly sell side. Oh, dudes, check that out. In all of the forge region, there's literally four line items. You guys should probably sell this stuff. Just saying. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's take a look. I can't remember if it had a lot of listings from last week in the first place. But no volume change though. It's just not a lot of people are either making this, or not a lot of people are selling it, or a little bit of both. But as you can see, there's not a whole lot of availability here in like Jita 4.4 proper. That's pretty nuts. You guys should really take advantage of this. Yeah, you guys should take advantage of that. I really, there's no way around it, man. It's a great opportunity for a Tech 2 item at that. It's so rare for that to happen. So rare. All right, next one's Macarial. I guess I think a lot of them needed them for the Monday night for Monday night. Probably. But then there's a vacuum in supply on sell side at least, right? So there you go. Something that potentially work on to balance it out. That's really like the market stuff. It's just one big balancing act. Just trying to get to that point where the buys and the sells and the supply and demand are all finding their actual the points where they're comfortable, where they want to be. That's all it is. If you can, all you're doing really is just facilitating that balancing point. That's all you're doing, and you're rewarded by profit when you do that. That's all it is. And that analogy is definitely very evident when it comes to relatively low population NOSEC regions. Definitely, it's a lot of. It's very like those market seeds are incredibly visceral, man. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. All right, Macarials called it as a sell. Dang, or 500. Wow. That's hilarious. Let's go back 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should have been really so if I remember correctly, I think I hypothesized that this was just gonna go sideways, but on a higher plateau. Looks like it did. Is this the normal price now for Macarials? 500 plus, almost 600. I think it's just gonna keep climbing, to be honest with you. There's no reason for it to go down. It's a mainline doctrine. It does get destroyed. The only thing that's really limiting this is the loot drop availability. That's the only thing that's holding this together, man. If it gets high enough up there, and not just Macarials, but faction battleships in general, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility for CCP to actually tweak the loot drop rate again. Because they're silly like that. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Take advantage of it though. If you guys can find a sustainable supplier of BPCs, of Macarials, and you can haggle them down, dude, you should totally do it. You should totally do it. That's basically what I've been doing with the Nightmare BPCs. All right, that was all of it actually. Great. So those are all our reviews. Not a whole lot of them were successful as far as, you know, going from buy to sell, etc. But I think we were able to highlight how they can still be tradable, they can still be flippable, even though they're going through these very gradual price movements, whether it's up or down. It's kind of interesting to see the large remote armor rep too, though. It's just absolutely like you know that something is in super high demand when Jita itself is out of it. It's pretty crazy. All right, so I do have one. It's not. It's. So I completed my Archon build and I sold it actually. Like not even a day after completing the build. So I'm really happy about that. So let me link you guys the transaction. All right, so I sold my Archon with fuel bay full of fuel because I was literally about to move it to capital staging, to sell it there. But then I just put it out in the Lions and then like, hey, anybody interested in buying this? It's in pocket, and it's got fuel in it. And I just sold it for whatever to match the regional price for it, and I kind of just gave the fuel for free, which is fine. It saved me the time to move it around, and it's just fuel. I got tons of that fuel anyway. I bought way too much to be honest. So that's my big sale for the week. So I didn't have to move it. I got paid immediately after the like less than a day after the build was done. Like I said, so really great turnover speed right there. I just wanted to go over just a few things that I've noticed in the Providence market this week. Actually, it's been going on for more than a week, to be honest. If you have the ability to actually seed it, go to Capital Staging, go to 3D, and check out the availability of Tech 2 Light Fighters. There definitely has been at least one instance where I was in the cap fleet, and it was like, and the carrier guys were like, hey, we literally need like a drone fighter to deliver light fighters right now. Like right now. So if you have the ability to actually go to Providence and actually seed it, you really should. Volume wise, what's the availability looking like? Well, don't buy like several billions worth of it, to be honest. I would say, what's a good number to use? I don't use a carrier, so I don't know how many comes in a flight. But see how long maybe 5 flights worth actually get used up. Definitely. I don't see them too much in contracts. I would definitely suggest that you actually just see them in capital staging in 3D. That'll probably be your best bet right there. But some of you guys might be thinking, well, Providence, capitals, that doesn't sound right. Dude, believe it or not, man, dude, it's getting up there. Like, we're getting a lot of participation on cap fleets. Lots of participation. A lot of people are finally getting comfortable putting themselves into capitals in a PvP setting. So if that's something that interests you as a market person, if that's something that interests you as a production person, it definitely interests me because I've been building caps. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Providence is starting to become like capital competent. We really are. It can really. I honestly believe it can only get better from here, especially since we actually have been getting positive results from these types of participations. So that should apply to light fighters, that should apply to Straunt, that should apply to helium isotopes, and whatever the Galente one is. Yep. Nobody uses Phoenixes. Sorry, guys. Oh, this is a good one. This is an absolute must seed. Must seed. Tosis link once. Seed this stuff, please. So let's see how much they cost in Jita right now. Okay, Tosis links. Tech 1. Just Tech 1s. Tech 2s are way too expensive. Like, it's ridiculous. This is actually one of our calls anyway, but I just I want to use this segment to actually talk about it. We don't care about that right now for this part. We actually care about its actual price. So you can actually, from buy orders, capture this for 13 million. You can easily sell Intosis Link 1s in pockets that are actually being actively contested. Basically my pocket, the Jeeve pocket, J. All right now. Jeeve pocket, Providence. We do have Fortizar there, and if you're neutral, you can actually go there and actually sell stuff. All right. You can, if you can capture JITA buy of Intosis links for 13 million, you can comfortably sell it in our pocket for 20 million. Let's check that out. It's 53%, man. Low volume though. Okay, this is approach this as a low volume item. All right. However, we're not the only pocket that's actually in threat. Okay, we're one of them. So do a little bit of research and look at the timer boards. Look at the timer boards and see where the danger spots are. And just do be mindful. Make sure that wherever you're seeding this, that it's in a, first of all, not in a station. Do not sell this stuff in a station. All right, because you never know who owns the station one day and who owns it the next day. All right, so do your best to sell this in Fortizars, please. Okay. Another thing, as of this weekend at least, I'm pretty sure it hasn't quite recovered. There actually aren't. There is no availability as of this weekend. Haven't checked today. There is no availability of Intosis Link 1s in Amar Trade Hub. You literally could go, I'm just gonna buy it in JITA and move it to Amar and sell it like high until it gets corrected. I'm not sure how viable that, if that's still viable, but at least as of this weekend when I was genuinely trying to get Intosis Link 1s like to pocket, went to Amar, nothing available on Southside, like zero, like it was blank. All right, so do take advantage of that, and that really denotes the demand and where the actual Intosis type of fights are happening. It's happening in Providence. Okay, so make note, and maybe you can actually exploit Amar Trade Hub for that purpose. Okay. Oh, one thing too that I've been doing, so I have all these ship holds that I've collected from contracts that I just haven't had a chance to send to Empire. I've actually been selling it locally, and it's actually selling. I'm kind of surprised that it's selling because it's not like doctor stuff, you know. I'm just super surprised. But yeah, so instead of moving stuff all the way to Empire, I at least give it a shot to see if I can sell it. Cam's like, damn, not there yet. I have to check my wallet. Yeah, check it out, man. As of Saturday, Sunday, it was literally zero available on the Mar. It's amazing. Yeah, I've been selling just oddball stuff, mostly haulers of various racial haulers. That's actually been a big item to sell. So yeah, so I really should continue with that. I really should continue with it may take longer, but that's okay. All right, it's okay. We're not going anywhere. You might as well try to sell it. So. One other, actually, this is one really great export that I've had. So last week I showed you guys that I got 3 Nightmare BPCs for 750. So I created Nightmare, I built Nightmares out of those BPCs already. All of them sold already. And basically I got about right around 100 million ISK profit per ship, pure profit. So that was really nice. So so thereabouts 300 million ISK profit from that contract of 750 million. So we're very happy with that. Hopefully I can continue to do that, but something tells me that's actually gonna be a rarity. And based on how hot it is in Providence right now, I mean you can find it in Providence, you can find it in Catch. So there's more than likely going to be a squeeze on the supply of Nightmare BPCs. But if you can find someone that will be willing to sell it to you directly and you can haggle them down, take advantage of them. That guy is your new best friend. Okay? That guy that's selling Nightmare BPCs on the cheap is your new best friend. Just saying. All right, what else we got here? Oh, so now that I'm done with the Archon, I'm actually now working on the Ninazu for Sergeant Relic. Figured out how much of the minerals I need. Then I'll start placing the buy orders either tonight or tomorrow night. So hopefully within the next 2-3 weeks or so, the whole project will be done. So we'll see. I'm really glad to actually be able to contribute positively to the alliance by outfitting one of our stand-up dudes, a Ninazu. So I'm very happy about it. As a labor of love, that's for sure, man. Labor of love, because holy crap, does it take a minute to actually move minerals. I mean, I thought about placing buy orders in Pocket, but it's gonna take forever to get filled. I'm just gonna go place it in Amar, honestly, and just haul it in. This is the easiest way to do it. I actually did try to capture the minerals from Pocket for that Archon build, and it was basically a waste of a week. It honestly was a waste of a week. I should have just placed it in Amar and just moved it in and be done with it. So, lessons learned, and I'm definitely applying that to these further builds, for these future capital builds. Alright, that's it. That's all I got for extra stuff. I am anticipating a lack of contracts type of content for a while, to be honest. Even through the regular trade channels, guys, there's definitely been a lack of people wanting to put up contracts. People are definitely focused on the fights these days, and I think the rush of the fire sales are actually done, and then who we have left is who we have left, and that's it. The rest of them, war fighting stuff. So that could be another thing to actually attack, is now that we've basically changed pace from I want to get out of here to I want to stay and fight. Maybe that's something we can actually profit off of. We just have to figure out exactly how to do it and not get caught up on chasing things to the bottom like most market people end up doing, unfortunately. That's because it's how much car insurance. You mean for the what do you mean for the caps? Actually, speaking of insurance, on the last cap fleet, I actually bought the platinum insurance, and sure as shit, man, we got stood down. It's like, oh my god, I literally just spent 300 mil on a platinum insurance for my cap. Do Citadels have insurance? I'm not sure. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. That'd be kind of weird if it did. Kind of weird if it did. Because then, you know what I mean? Like, how would you be from a common sense standpoint, right? You have to be docked to get insurance, right? Or right? You have to be docked to get insurance, right? And yeah, I mean, because POS has had no insurance. I mean, what would happen if they did? Would that be? That sounds super exploitable. It sounds super exploitable. And I was like, who the hell would I start to lay off on a Citadel policy? Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't. Especially if it's an ISEC. Alright, so I mean, that really is it. So with that being said, like, how do we get back into the contracts game with that? I really have to check the numbers. And it is a lot of work. But seeing about actually putting up contracts of doctrines in our main staging, if there's enough meat on the bone, I'll probably do it. But if there isn't, then I'm probably just gonna have to bow down on contracts for now and focus on production on capital production as opposed to contract work. So we'll see. That's the plan at least for now. Having one of the other is nice. Having both would be better, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. All these things for insurance. Someone's got to insure them though, right? I mean, over the long run, does it end up being a sink or does it end up being a faucet? If it ends up being a sink, I think it's okay. But something tells me it's going to end up being a faucet. Alright guys, that's all I got. Now we'll move on to our actual picks for the week. I think that's going to be kind of interesting. So first I'm calling a buy on Jackdaws. Which is really weird. I should really be calling this as a sell, right? Because everyone uses Jackdaws, but actually it's a buy. So a buy off of the previous high, because just purely from a technical analysis standpoint, 5-day moving average below the 20-day moving average, and the mean's actually below. So it's a price correction. Where does it go from here though? I think it's gonna go sideways. Not too long, not for too long though, because these are very popularly used. Okay. I think it's pretty reasonable for it to go back up to the 70 mil range on sell. So if you can catch it as close to 50 as you can, I think that's really, really good. That's a really high potential for gains there. Because when they do show up, at least in Providence, when we fight Jackdaws, for the most part, the Jackdaws survive. All right. So it's not like it's not like a very high turnover thing. Yeah, when the Jackdaws show up, when the enemy brings Jackdaws to fight us, most of the time a good portion of the Jackdaws survive. So I would, if I can capture, see where is it at right now? 53 to 59. Is that flippable? I think it is. 11%. That's pretty good. That's totally flippable. Even then, yeah. I would definitely put a buy on Jackdaws, especially since you actually can capture it right around 50. And it's pretty reasonable for it to go up again. Yeah. Let's go since they found moon mining with Mexalot inside. Were they not supposed to? Is that not a thing? Alright, next one guys is rattlesnakes. I think it's on observe. I put notes here. Yep, observe buy on rattlesnakes. Alright, yeah. I'm calling this as an observe buy because it's not quite there yet, but I think it's about to get there. So, you know, again, the buy signal is 5-day moving average below the 20-day moving average. And the buy position really gets strengthened when the mean price is also below. So I think it's about to get there. I think it's pretty reasonable for the rattlesnakes to correct down to maybe, I don't know, like 470, something like that. I think that's pretty reasonable. Oh, it's actually already hit below that. All right, perfect. So with a buy of 465, it says here, buy 465. It looks like it's actually trending downwards. So if you have the money to actually play rattlesnakes, watch this over the next few days. When the buy signal becomes stronger, you really need to act quickly. You need to act quickly and act very, very aggressively, okay? Especially because it doesn't take a whole lot of volume to swing faction battleships, okay? So if you find an opportunity, you really have to go all in, like hard, okay? Jillian says, my investment in Headhunter skins is starting to pay off. The price is now about 200% of what I bought and still going up. Nice, nice. But the things, the actual skins you post in market are actually being matched though. That's really good if it is. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, I have some skins for sale, but I'm not gonna lie, man. They're definitely slow movers. You know, they're not headhunters, but you know, they're slow movers. There's skins, and that's my first time selling skins. I was expecting them to be slow, but not that slow. All right, and I know we just talked about it in Tosis Link 1. Tosis Links 1. Calling this as a buy, and you can notice that it kind of just this wavy pattern for Entosis links, which makes a lot of sense, you know, because you buy a whole bunch of them, and then when they get used, a lot of times they're attached to ships that they're attached to suicide ships, basically, right? And that's why the demand gets renewed very, very quickly, especially with what's going on in Providence, where there's Entosis skirmishes all the time, all the time. Jerry says, yeah, you will only sell as new players come along and want them, since once a person has skins permanent. Yeah, definitely. Is it good that that's the way we have skins though, permanent? Okay, I was like, yeah, I found that on my first Sino. You fit in Sino and Entosis? What? That's crazy. All right, so yeah, I mean, I think it's reasonable for Entosis links to be to buy if you can catch it at like anywhere close to 13 million. I think you're good. And then, because then, you know, as we discussed, you even have the option of reselling in Amar or reselling in Providence. Providence especially, by the pocket though, okay? Jelly said, we should lose the skin if the ship it was on got blown up. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair thing to do, right? Yeah, I think so. I mean, to have it as a forever thing. Because then all the prices have nowhere to go but down, right? Like what would ever cause the price to go up? Nothing, right? Hey PI Profit. Let's talk about P4s already. No PI calls today, man. No PI calls, because it's basically the same shit, different day. Dude, P4s are still depressed. P4s are still depressed, man. But P3s are getting volatile. They're getting super volatile, which is nice. Guy says that no one would fly the memorial skins. Yeah, see, I'm terrible, man. I actually don't know what the actual skins look like. The only time I get exposed to skins like that is when Titans do like fashion shows. That's the only time. That's the only time I get to see like skins, when Titans do fashion shows. Synthetic synapses in Amar. I can't see Amar right now, but I imagine they are. Yeah, I imagine they are. The P3s are super volatile right now, man. Super volatile. Amar's kind of wonky because a lot of the raw materials that end up being distributed through Amar, a good portion of that actually does, like, legit does come from Provi. Like, I would think so. Market PvP, yeah, man, shit's real. Market PvP is dangerous. It's one of the few types of PvP in the game where you actually are at risk, not like combat PvP. Looking at you, SRPs. Looking at you. Messing it up for everybody. Alright, so those are all our buys. Next one, we're going to go for ourselves. Let's start with, man, can't believe I'm actually calling all three of these things together. It's amazing. This one's Tritanium. CEO was playing Tritanium in the MAR. I thought I'd just take a look anyway. I was like, holy shit, I should have called this a while ago. I think I did, but I wasn't expecting it like this. It's continuing to go up there, guys. It's continuing to go up there. If you have a whole bunch of this and you don't intend to build anything, you should probably sell it. You should really probably sell it. Now, mind you, this is, of course, just the regional picture, right? But I think it's pretty safe to say that most regions will probably reference the JITA price anyway, you know, because it's, you know, Tritanium. It's a very commonly, it's a very common item in buyback programs, right? Minerals, ores, things like that, right? So, but just reviewing the graph, you got the 20-day moving average trending upwards, the 5-day moving average basically following neck and neck on it. And the mean price is actually sitting above both moving averages. Something tells me there's still some momentum that this thing can use to actually propel itself further. How high can it go though? I don't know. But something does tell me when this corrects, it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be a glorious correction when it does. You really don't want to be on the bad end of a glorious of a mineral correction. That's terrible. I've personally been there. Morphite. Oh my god, that hurts so bad. The Morphite scenario of 2017. Jesus. That was like getting most miners and baby manufacturers for free. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's actually an incredibly true statement. That is an incredibly true statement. Even in my alliance, man, it's ridiculous. Jerry's like got 3 billion worth of Tritanium, but not gonna sell it. I have just about as much, actually. Like I'm good for at least 7 more capital builds without needing Tritanium. Amazing. So the next couple of I'm gonna be pumping out some capitals, and I know on the numbers, I'm not gonna need Trit. I'm not gonna need Pi for the next 7 builds. It's gonna be amazing. Like it's doing, man. And dude, you can't help it. Some people just genuinely build for the fun of it. They do industry for the fun of it, without any thought about profit. As long as they can do it, they just like building. Yeah, much respect to that, man. Much respect. Jelly says, yeah, I always get ahead of Tritanium. Now Mexel, on the other hand, always need. Yes, yes. I always import. I've never had to not import Mexelon. I never had to not import Noxium. And actually, no, Zydrite I'm good. No, actually, yeah, Zydrite actually I am good, yeah. Friggin' net worth is 1/3 minerals. My net worth is like 1/2 favors. like stuff that actually has no direct risk value. That's my net worth, man. Favors. It's tough to cash that out. It's really tough to cash that out. So if you have a ton of Tritanium, guys, and you don't intend to do anything with it, consider selling it. Consider selling it. I wouldn't say sell it to if you can, because it's a bitch to move this, man. If you can get away with selling it in your local nullsec pocket, dude, you should totally do that. You should find yourself a capital builder and like supply his Tritanium. But you know, try to haggle on a good try to find a good median for the pricing, right? All right, next one, guys, is Megasite. So all these minerals we're calling are trending upwards. Okay, the other two that we're calling, we'll start with the Megasite first. It's like the beginnings of it, so this could be something big, I think. Yeah, I was like, yeah, no Straunt to last year, dude. I restaged my Straunt. I should restage the rest of them to capital staging in Provi. Dude, like, gets sold quick. My stock's actually almost done. I'm very surprised. The Megasite picture a little bit. It's not as drastic as the Tritanium. However, so same pattern, right? You got the from the kind of lull right here. You got a 50-day move, sorry, 20-day moving average that's trending upwards. You have a 5-day moving average that's following suit, trending upwards, and you have a mean daily price that is above both moving averages. I think there's plenty of room for this thing to go up. I think there's plenty of room for this thing to go up. And it's people are just buying it straight up from sell side. So they're saying, so the market is saying, A, Megasite is too cheap. Just buy it straight up. Buy it straight up. And people are and people who are involved in building are saying, yeah, I think I will buy it straight up. I think I will buy Megasite straight up. Okay. But at what point do they say, you know what, maybe I'll start haggling for it now? I'm not sure where that price is. I'm not sure where that price point is. But something tells me, let's see, where's it at right now? It's at 1-2. I think it's gonna start meeting resistance at around the 1,200 mark. I think it's gonna start meeting like heavy resistance at 1,200 mark. If it cracks that, it's gonna go on straight mania mode. If it does, man, I really believe it's gonna go mania mode. If it cracks past 1-2. I don't think it's actually even gonna take much to crack that. I don't think so, to be honest. But that's the picture at least. Megasite, if you don't intend to sell it and you have a whole bunch of it. Oh, I'm sorry, if you don't intend to build with it and you have a whole bunch of it, consider selling it. Consider selling it. Next one's Zydrine. Same thing. Very similar picture to Megasite, alright. And I have the same sentiment. I think it's got some room to go. I think it really does have some room to go up. Let's see where it's at. 916, 880. It may touch 1,000, but then correct soon after that. I think it's reasonable for it to touch 1,000. Maybe just at a small window throughout the day. If you can actually like trade this like actively intraday, you might have something here. I guess I stopped buying it a week ago. Oh, the Zydrine. I mean, for most of my builds, I do end up needing a little bit still, but not nearly as much as Mexalon. I mean, everybody needs Mex. Now, yeah, I mean, if you have Zydrine and you don't intend to build, and you need something to convert to ISK, this is a good thing. But if you can hold off, I think, at least in an intraday sense, I think it can hit 1,000 ISK. I really do. Maybe not in Jita, but probably more likely in Amar. Hey, Victor. Me too. What's the next one? Next one is yeah, that's really all I got. So the other minerals are actually also trending upwards, but not nearly as volatile looking as these three. Okay, so that's why I picked these three out specifically. Next one, guys, I'm gonna look at is the Ishkur. This really surprised me. Really surprised me. I'm not sure what that's all about. Not sure what that's all about. I mean, is it in preparation for the Assault Frig changes and they just want to stock up on it? That seems really risky to me. I mean, I've heard folks talk about the Assault Frigate changes. It doesn't seem that drastic. Because at the end of the day, why are you using an Assault Frigate and not a Tech Fleet Destroyer? Unless you have a good answer to that, the Assault Frigates are really out of place. They're ridiculously out of place. I can't buy into this hype. As a dedicated frigate pilot myself, I can't buy into this hype. I cannot. Because they're still way underpowered, and there's no actual role that they fulfill because it got stolen by the Tech 3Ds. But the hype of the changes have actually brought on speculative interest. So I think that's really all this is speculative interest. But so with that being said, if it is speculative interest, I was like, well, the CCP shields are maybe. I can't buy into it, man. I can't buy into using assault frigates, with the exception of harpies, because harpies are actually useful. They're literally the only one, honestly, in a faction warfare sense. I definitely see them a lot. I have used them as myself. I definitely prefer them out of all the assault frigates. If this is speculation, and you have Ishkars on stock, or you have the materials to build them like right now. Victor says, "What's up with the jackdaws?" I was calling it as a buy because they're going through a correction, a price correction of yeah, so it was trending really high, but then it dropped down because it was too high, and that's why I'm calling it as a buy. That's all it was. So if this is speculation, you really have to match the product very, very quickly. Otherwise, you're gonna miss the opportunity because people are gonna go, "Oh, I speculate Ishkars, and now I'm just waiting." And then nothing happens. Most of the time, nothing happens. We just speculate. Actually, nothing happens. All right, the price will just naturally correct itself. So you want to beat the natural price correction when you believe that the product in question is being speculated on. Okay, so let me repeat that. You want to beat the price correction by dumping the product against the speculators before it corrects itself. Okay. Caps says, I like them. I like to fly them, but until I've flown them more with the changes, I don't theatercraft. Yeah. I remember sometime. Victor says, I remember sometime all T3Ds were around 30 million. Yeah, they're. That definitely must have been a while. When they first came out, they were easily in the hundreds of millions. Should have stopped. I think Hagates were even below 30, 27. Yeah, most of them got pretty cheap, to be honest. Caps, I prefer Enyo to Ishkar. Yeah, me too. Definitely. Enyos are ridiculous, man. I definitely prefer Enyos. It's just it's a stronger Atron. It's a stronger but slower Atron. All right, so that's the Ishkar picture. You're gonna see the same thing with the Jaguar. So the thing with the Jaguar, I think this is gonna be a missile boat now. I'm pretty sure it's a Jaguar. Yep, it's gonna turn into a missile boat. Man, that is pure speculation, guys. If you have this stuff right now, you need to dump this into Jaguars. If you have the stuff right now, sell it. Sell it, sell it, sell it. Because the speculation really is it's a very manic behavior, right? Once the changes happen, it's not gonna sit at this price. This is speculation price. So make these speculators pay. Make these speculators pay. I just don't see it. I honestly don't see it. Like, this is not 2010. We are not at a small ship meta. No, this is stupid. This is not gonna happen. Not with T3Ds around. No, no, no. Cal says, I remember when a Ford pickup new was only 10,000. Oh my god. That was a long time ago. Yeah, guys, but I mean, to be honest, I've flown Jaguars too. Dude, they're so weak. Jaguars in its current iteration is so weak. You can make a missile boat out of it? Maybe. I don't know. I can't buy into it. But if you have it, please make these speculators pay. Please make them pay. Make them pay. and just dump it against them. Let's go. I would if I had stock. I'll be honest with you. I totally would if I had the stock. All right, and next one's people. Our last one. Yep. How about C3Ds here? So I'm calling it as a sell. I mean, it's still trending upwards, all right? So it looks like the beginning of buy signals, but give it a few days and I think it'll correct itself. But generally speaking, the price is still trending upwards, and it is predominantly, the action is predominantly on the sell side. The Rulak says they're getting buffed. Sweeples or the assault frigates? Assault frigates are. It's just that this. Why would you use an assault frigate when you can use Tech 3Ds? Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like for the same cost, man, or not that much more. You know what I mean? But you get so much more stats. You get so much more stats with Tech 3Ds. Like, it was cool to have. It's cool when the Tech 3Ds did get introduced. But basically all they did was they were better assault frigates, right? They were effectively better assault frigates, because the assault frigates, it's one of those ship types that have not seen a whole lot of iteration, and it definitely shows, right? Because then they get thrown off the wayside. Like, hey, they just can't follow the meta. They can't. Yeah, I'm not sure from a fleet use perspective. I don't know. Cav says, I think so far all talk is about balancing them against the cruiser. Assault frigates, balancing them against their Tech 1 racial cruiser counterparts? Are you talking about hacks? Maybe hacks. Yeah, for Sweeple though, just going back to Sweeples, I think if you have the ability to make these, I think there's a good profit in them. But then even so, this is another example, I think. So let's go back to see if this is actually flippable, even though it is starting to trend downwards. No, it's definitely not. 48 to 49. Oh, this is so cute when people do this. So cute. It's basically cock blocking the buys. Fuck it. Why not? Let's disregard that 48. Let's call it 46. Someone's gonna fix that up. Hopefully someone fixes it. 6% is not enough. That's not enough, man. So Sweeples right now are not flippable. Not flippable. That's okay. Not everything can be flippable. Cass says, yeah, hacks are underutilized, overused, one way or the other. Depends on which one. It's definitely what's that? Kaldari hack. The missile boat. It's definitely been a Cerberus world in Providence. Dang, it's like Arbor hacks feel bad. Yeah, dude, like Serbs, man. Serbs are go home. Serbs are so good. Serbs are so good. So good. So good. Like broken good. But then if it's there, abuse it. If it's broken, abuse it. Why wouldn't you? It'd be silly not to. It's silly not to. It's like, yeah, man. If something is overpowered, then abuse it. It's so easy. So easy. That should be the natural behavior set, right? One would think. All right. That's really all I got, guys. Great turnout today. Great turnout today for sure. Well, one thing I do want to plug. So for you guys who want to go over the show again, or just to let you guys know, so in a few weeks I'm gonna need to take a break because I'm gonna be moving. So, but if you want to catch these in the future, and older episodes, I put them all in my YouTube channel, and there it is. So you can catch. So these shows end up making it to my channel about usually 2 days. It'll be I usually do a quick QA thing, make sure everything was understandable, and then push it out to YouTube. Chaos, in my opinion, more people need to adapt to the tools they have, not what they kind of like a Sherman against the Tiger 7. Yeah, you're right though. If you throw enough at something, you'll kill it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the overlying meta though, isn't it? N+1. Like, it's so obvious, but at the same time, it can be very much not fun. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is what it is. Moving forward from here, guys, what are my expectations? I definitely want to give you guys more of an update on my capital production and how that goes, failure points, things like that. But I think for the most part, my biggest challenge on that is going to be, is it possible to actually incorporate my alliance to help with that? I think the short answer is no. And I say that because some people already have that kind of operation, but I don't think anyone's actively building right now. If they are, if there are builders, then they're definitely at the individual pilot level, not in an organized alliance level. And that's such an easy thing to do too, man. Just a production line supported by the alliance wallet. That's such an easy moneymaker. But I don't think we do it. And I'll be honest, I'll be more than happy to actually incorporate people's labor into my production line. But I think people would, even our miners would rather not. I think they just rather I think they mine, but I don't know what the heck they do with their minerals. I don't know who they sell it to. I really don't. But I'm definitely a willing buyer of minerals if it's anywhere near close to the Jeeve pocket. Just saying. But we'll see. I mean, can I run? Well, I can't really do multiple builds at a time because of the very nature. I don't have a large stock of cap components already, so that's probably something that's definitely something worth engaging. Maybe I can start utilizing Rodin and Robro in tandem to actually tackle multiple jobs, or at least maybe dedicate one character to pumping out nothing but cap parts, and the other character cap parts plus the actual ship itself, something like that. I definitely want to give you guys a report on that, or to maybe help out those who would like to enter that field. I've been doing production lines as an organizational source of ISK making literally since I started the game. Like, as a miner, I was very, very quickly involved in production lines because I had a great CEO that actually knew what he was doing. He's probably one of the more influential players that I've come across with that really got me hooked and exposed me to the complexity of the game. So, long hauling. I don't know if you're still out there, man, but hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. That's really all I got, guys. Thank you very much for sticking around. Really, really appreciate it. So in 2 days or so, this episode will be in YouTube, and I really should do like training classes for my alliance folks. I think some of especially the new players over there, and maybe you guys can help me kind of brainstorm some ideas together. Well, one of the topics that I really want to hit up is how to make money without undocking, or with minimum undocks. That's definitely a thing I want to cover. Senpai, I have to beat him. Dude, he's basically like a 100 times nerdier version of me. Like on the he knows his stuff. Like it's kind of scary. Like he's really into the indie side of the game, but he definitely had the value of knew the value of PvP. So he wasn't one of those like pure indie folks who just scoffed at PvPers. Now he understood the balance. It was a good dude. But yeah, man. One of the things one of the topics I would like to cover with my alliance, my junior alliance folks, would be scaled ISK making. Whether it be production, whether it be trading, or PI or anything like that. But something that, like, using your wits over your brawn, so to speak, right? Outsmarting the system as opposed to just grinding away like it was a Korean MMO. You know what I mean? So that's something I really wanna get to them, because it challenges you, and it will challenge your mind as opposed to challenging your attention span, right? I was like, contracts are still pretty arcade heavy still. And I know they are the noobs. Yeah, they for real. Definitely. Oh lord, just get basics for scaling. That's so true though, but dude, like scaling, so it's sexy, man. When you get it right, oh, it's so good. So good. But definitely something to when I do that though, because I've thought about this before too. I definitely want to do it in a stream format so that folks can see exactly what I'm looking at. And that's something I'll definitely open up to everybody. I'll tweet it out when it's happening. I'll probably do it in my personal channel if anything else. But purely educational, and that's hopefully something that I can present with you guys as well. Okay, so if anyone has any ideas on what would be good topics to actually teach players that are not necessarily new to the game, but new to nullsec. So that's kind of the key audience. Like, I'm new to nullsec. How do I get involved in industry in such a way that it's actually fun and profitable and not just monotonous, like mining for like 10 hours a day? You know what I mean? K3 says, "Are you in Horde?" No, I am not in Horde. I'm actually in Providence. I'm in UI Federation Alliance. Yeah, I was like, that's okay. I'm such like, thanks, dude. Yeah, it'll definitely make it to the YouTubes. Stalker status, love it. All right, guys, but that's all I got. I'll definitely keep you guys up to date. I'll talk to our like education person and see what he wants to actually put out. But that's definitely something that I want to put out as a stream. But I think it's going to be really helpful as a stream. All right. Well, thank you very much again, guys. Definitely check out my YouTube channel that's posted above, so you can catch old content. But besides that, expect this episode to be in the next 2 days. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you then.